Okay, guys. So let's see redeemable preference shares today. We are done with redeemable preference shares, where only dividend paid on those preference shares was considered in the calculation of cost of preference shares. And in the case of irredeemable preference shares, principal will not be paid back to the investors, whereas in the case of redeemable preference shares, the word itself explains it. Redeemable, these preference shares are redeemable at the option of the investors. We have an example here. The example, the example also it clearly says that to be redeemed after 10 years. Now let's see the example. ABC Limited issued 11% preference shares. That means 11% is going to be preference dividend. The face value is 100 rupees each. That means 11 rupees is going to be preference dividend annual. As nothing is mentioned, we have to assume that it is an annual preference dividend. And flotation cost is given as 5%. Flotation cost is 5%. That means for when a company issues preference shares of rupees 100 each, to get that 100 rupees, company has to incur a cost of 5%, that is 5 rupees here in our case. That means ultimately the firm or company will be getting 95 rupees at the end, because 5 rupees it will be losing in the process of getting the money from investors. For every 100 rupees it is 5%, so that is 95. And here is the formula. It is quite a bit different from the previous formulas. Looks like a complicated one, but it's actually easy. If you see, this is nothing but this part, left hand part. P0 is the price at which we actually sold it. What is the selling price? Selling price here is rupees 100, and this F is 5%. That means we have to use 5% or 0.05. And this right side part is having two parts. The left hand part is about dividend, and the right hand part is on principal payment. We have to consider both the things: the payment of dividend, the cost of dividend which we pay, and the cost of principal which we are going to pay. And of course we have to consider the time value of money, as the dividend is being paid continuously for 10 years, and this principal will be paid after 10 years, I mean in the 10th year. So this formula is containing two parts. One is dividend portion, one is principal portion. Now let's see. Yeah, I've included the explanation also for all the variables in this formula. F, what is F, what is KP, what is DP, what is P0, and here F is 5%, KP we have to calculate KP, and dividend is rupees 11, P0 that is expected sales price, that is 100 here. Of course, from 100 we have to deduct 5 rupees as 5% flotation cost, and principal repayment we will be paying 100 at the end of 10th year. And if we substitute all the values here in the above given formula, we'll get an equation like this. All the denominator values, and left handed side this value, this is 100, this 95 we got by simplifying this part. 100 multiplied by 1 minus 5%, that is 95% of 100 is 95 rupees. And here T is taking the values of 1 to 10, as number of years is 10 years in our case. Dividend, as I told you, it is rupees 11, and principal repayment after 10th year it is 100. That's why if you see the denominator part, the calculation of principal repayment, it is 10, but whereas in the case of here it is t, because we have to expand it and t will be taking the values of 1 to 10. And yeah, so instead of calculating all these and uh, doing the cumbersome calculations, what I've done is I've simplified the results in a table format like this, if you see. And I have considered 11% and 12% rates because the dividend itself was 11%, and of course the cost will also be around 11%. So I've considered 11% and 12% rates. This is 11% PV factor, this is 12%, and these values is 5.65 and 5.889 are obtained from table A4, and the last value, this is obtained from these single values, as this is obtained from table A3, table A3. And yeah, we see these are the values, annuity kind of values. We obtained it from table A4, as the payment is in the kind of annuity 1 to 10. We have to check A4, table A4, 11% and 10 years. We'll see this value. And this one, table A4, 12%, 10th year. And this payment, as it is a single payment, 10th year, we have checked table A3, 10%, sorry, 10th year 11%, and this one 12%, 10th year, table A3. And if we multiply this one, this 5.889 by rupees 11, will get this figure. The same way, 12% value of 5.65 when it is multiplied by 11 will get this value. So these are the totals. If we consider 11% rate to equate this equation, we have to find this KP, right? KP value. So the rate which will equate the both sides of the equation is the rate we are looking for. So even if we consider 11%, the total is going to be 99.93. Actually ours is only 95. So 12% at the rate of 12%, we are getting 94.35, almost nearer value. So we can say that the value of KP, that is cost of preference shares, these redeemable preference shares, is 12% approximately. If we want to calculate exact percentage, then we have to follow that what is that method we have learned to calculate, that IRR, interpolation kind of formula. Then we can easily calculate the exact value which can equate our value to 94.35, or we can say that simply 11.9. As for 12%, we are getting 65 NP less value than the original receipt, so we can say approximately it is 11.9 instead of 12. You can say that as 11.9%. Okay, so this is the explanation for cost of redeemable preference shares. Any doubts, please post to my WhatsApp account.